How's it, guys? This is Davey FPL and welcome back to the Deadline with Davey live stream. First of all, let me know if the audio and this video look good. I do apologize. They're literally building in the corner of our state. So if you guys do hear some background noise, it's that. And I can't really go and tell them not to kind of build. So let me know if it's very kind of bad. You might hear, I don't know if you can hear it there, but like you might hear trucks reversing, that sort of thing. I do apologize. As I said, there's not much I can do about it, but do let me know if it gets too distractive, and then I can kind of, I'll try and adjust some of the audio settings. But if it's okay for now, then as I said, I do apologize. Maybe just for this stream, let me off the hook for some bad audio, but hopefully my voice is still coming through relatively clear. And if you guys can just see what I do on screen, that's all you have to know, because 2 free transfers. So Kuran, I just read your message. I thought you meant I was muted, but do apologize. It's Sabi saying video is bad. Maybe just refresh, because I can see the video is still coming through fine on my side. So do apologize, Sabi, if it's not looking great on your side, but then maybe just refresh it or up the quality. But thank you, Christian, for saying that we're looking fine and sounding fine. And then we can head on to all this goodness for game week 33. So the team that you guys see on screen, don't worry, I have to make some changes to it. I've got 2 transfers that I have to make. And I'm also going to change my captaincy, because right now it's on a certain Norwegian called Erling Haaland. So let me just do that quickly so that people in the chat don't get too confused. This is how the current team is setting out with Erling Haaland as the captain. I've got the vice captain on Mo Salah, unless we get news that maybe Erling Haaland is benched. I'm hoping we get some early news, but I don't know if we will. But if we do, and maybe Erling Haaland is there for bench, then I'll go for Salah. But right now, basically no news or news that he's starting. It's going to be Erling Haaland as my captain. You guys can go for Salah if you want to. You can go for Son if you want to. Even Palmer's a great option for Monday Night Football, but there's a ton of kind of things that we could potentially be looking at. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying this Saturday so far. If you guys are kind of late into the evening, hopefully you guys did enjoy it. I know there's a few of you guys from all around the world. So whether morning, afternoon, evening, thank you for joining into this live stream, and hopefully it's going to be a good one. Vincent, no chocolate milk, just plain water today. Unfortunately, I haven't gone out to the shops and got any, but thank you for joining, Vincent. In terms of the poll that you guys can vote on, it's going to be who is your captain currently. 68% of you are saying Erling Haaland, which I think will be quite a representation of the overall kind of landscape. I do expect Haaland to be captained by more people than Salah, but I expect both of them to be over 100%. So probably hoping that either one blanks if you guys captain the other one. Palmer's at 4%, Son's at 4%, and I'm pretty sure there might be those of you guys on maybe an Ivan Toney, that sort of thing. That's quite differential. I don't have Haaland. Who can I go for now, says Andrew? I would definitely go for Salah then. If you don't have a Haaland, you can either go for another Man City option. Just make sure that they're going to start. I'd say Alvarez is slightly safer than someone like a Foden. But if you don't have Haaland, I'd just go for Salah probably. Christian saying, what's the most likely moves this game week? Sadly, can't watch the last 30 minutes of the stream. So no worries, Christian. I understand that you guys have busy lives. I'll just ask for some patience, maybe 10 more minutes, just so people can get in the chat. Then I'll run through my moves, just because I don't want to repeat them too much. So in about 5 minutes or 10 minutes time, I'll go over a very concrete transfer plan with you. And then hopefully that gives you enough clarity so that you can make your moves before you have to leave for the 30 minutes. Do you run the 2 Oceans Marathon? No, I don't. Prinsley, did you? If you did, it's quite a hectic one, but no, I didn't run it, unfortunately. No worries, Sabi. Thanks for the clarity, not only on the video but on the comment. Chad is saying, hey Davey, Toney to Haaland, Foden to Mbumo, no hit. I'm free at 34. I don't think I'd sell Toney this week before Sheffield United. So I would. If you're on free at 34, I would just probably keep Foden. Just play him unless we get news that he's going to be benched. The Toney to Haaland move, I guess you can do it if you really want to captain Haaland. But just remember, Toney is Sheffield United this week, and if he does start, that's a pretty good game. So I would rather do the first move if you want to captain Haaland than the second one, though. It seems a bit sideways, kind of taking like a Brentford to Brentford, Man City to Man City almost. It's a bit of sideways moves, but I can understand it if you want to captain Haaland. The odds of starting Hecke, there is some odds if I decide to take out Ait Nori for maybe like a Dan Burn who has Spurs. I will then play Van Hecke instead of Dan Burn. But there is a chance that I do start him, yes. But if you're asking about his starting position in Brighton, yes, he's definitely going to start. Cousin from Namibia participated, so 100%. How did he do? Was it a good race or was it a bad one? Thoughts on Solanke? I'm Daryl. I'm quite nervous about not owning Solanke this week. I won't lie to you. He's playing United. They aren't the best defense at the moment. Actually, if you watch the Ultimate Guide, one of the worst defenses. So he's obviously a high ownership player that I am quite scared of, but I guess I have Isaac, Darwin, both of them could potentially do well, but I'll talk about Darwin later on. Vincent, please stop leaking my moves. Thank you. I'll go through them shortly. I don't have to post them in the chat though. But I'll talk about that later on, Vincent. You might have just jumped the gun there, but start Solanke or Garnacho. I'd start Solanke, definitely, Gary. He's a penalty taker, quite a talisman for Bournemouth, and they're playing United, who are quite a bad defense. So I think I would lean towards him. Also, it's a home game. I know there's some consideration with Bournemouth at home versus away. Apparently, I think they're better away from home, but I still think I would start Solanke over Garnacho. Start Nori, Bradley, or Porro. I probably would be between Ait Nori and Bradley. So Bradley, you can start Bradley if you want to. Might be some good luck there. I think I would lean towards starting Bradley then Ait Nori. It probably would be Bradley, Ait Nori, Porro. That's my order. Ake to Ait Nori or Lewis. I would just keep... Okay, wait, Ake's injured. Sorry, Liam. I would take Ait Nori if you're not freeting next week. But if you are freeting, I would just say, can you do Dan Burn? Because Liam, Dan Burn is better for the future. If you free at 34, I'd go for Dan Burn. But if you're not, I'd go for Ait Nori. I actually like Onana more than Petrovic this week, especially when I've not got Theo Vincent. That's same thinking about me. But then I went and looked at... actually, I'll bring it up on screen on my... Let me just get it quickly for you guys. There's a very good account that posts nice graphics. Let me just bring it up on screen for you guys. Okay, let me know if you can see this. Actually, you don't have to let me know because I can... Okay, you guys can see this anyways. This is what I wanted to put. So this graphic is from Rob TFPL. Again, at Rob, ROBTFPL. He posts kind of clean sheet odds and scoring odds and goal odds. So you can see on screen we've got the Bournemouth and United game. And basically the last percentage is the clean sheet percentage. And you can see Bournemouth on 18%, United on 16%. Verse at the bottom you can see Chelsea 31% and Everton 13%. Now I will say betting odds aren't always the best kind of probabilities. I don't think they're always in line with form, but this is like almost double the chance of Chelsea keeping a clean sheet. Look, I don't think either of them will keep a clean sheet, but I just feel like I might as well just hope that Chelsea finally keep a clean sheet. But yeah, this graphic is super useful. Also tells you there, Man City 3.4 goals expected against Luton, which is pretty insane. So that's why I'm kind of edging towards Erling Haaland slightly. But once again, that's Rob TFPL. I really like his graphics. Sargent saying Darwin and Lascelles out for Alvarez and Burn, or Lascelles and Nori out for Burn and Braithwaite. So those will be two moves that I think you have to almost see what I do, because if I take Darwin out, then I would probably recommend doing so as well. But definitely the last two moves are more conservative, just kind of fixing up your defense a bit there. I like those moves. They're pretty set. Burn and Braithwaite, they know kind of pizzazz moves, but they're still going to work it out. Hi Davey, what's your plans tonight? Sorry for... No, Tarang, I'm going to talk about them now. I was just waiting for a few more people to get in. Same like Wilson. Just join. What's the plan now? So I'm waiting for you guys to get in chat. And I think about 20 past we'll go over my transfer. So 3 minutes time. What are you doing here with your team? So Ben, 100%, 3 minutes time, I'll go over it, brother. Free at 34, thinking about doing Saka and Morris to Garnacho and Isaac. Thoughts? Ty the footy guy, those moves look pretty nice. I do like them. Obvious risk is taking Saka out. I was pretty keen on taking Saka out for Foden, but I don't think Foden starts today. And the thing about Aston Villa is they don't have Douglas Luiz. So I think that team is going to be kind of pretty bad. I don't know if there's any Aston Villa fans in the chat, but what are your expectations for this game? I'll tell you what so you guys can't see it, but Rob T is saying 2.55 goals for Arsenal, which is pretty ridiculous. I've got one free transfer. Thinking about doing a Dogi to Guardiola or Burn. What do you think? So Darth, is your defense okay at the moment? For example, if you look at my defense, I would say my defense is okay. If Ait-Nouri doesn't start, then Van Hecke can come off the bench. Let me just swap these two around. We can get Van Hecke off the bench. But what I would say is that if you want to start Guardiola this week, then obviously go for him. But I would try and prolong the Man City defender for as long as possible. And the reason I'm saying that is that Man City defense is super hard to kind of get guaranteed starts from. So if you need them for 37, let's just say Walker, Ake, all of them are back by 37. You might not be going for Guardiola if you were to do the transfer closer to the time. So I would try and prolong the move for Man City options as far as possible. Whereas with Newcastle, Lascelles is out for the season. The other kind of options are also looking pretty injured. Dan Burns pretty set. So I would just go for him this week. Bench him if you can. And that's what I was saying. It depends on how your defense is looking. Is Saka fully fit? Joe, as far as I know, he's fine, Ty. Confident that Bradley wouldn't be subbed? I'm not confident, but I think it might be he should be okay, Vincent. Harry's saying, worried about benching Garnacho this week. Every time he's on my bench, he gets points. So if you guys have him, probably start him. I got lucky the last time. Do you remember? I benched him, but then Haaland didn't even play. So I did the ultimate FPL jinx. I put him on my bench, he got points, and then I got those points. What's your take on Ait-Nouri? Sounds like he might not start, but involved. I think if you watched how the manager said what he said, I would be more confident about him starting. I'm just not super confident about the Wolves defenders kind of getting that many clean sheets. And that's why this week, I was originally going to take Bradley out, but now that he looks more nailed to start, I would say I'm more likely to take Ait-Nouri out now, just because between Game Week 33 and Game Week 35, both these options are out my team anyways. It just depends on what order I take them out. Let's just say that. So out of Bradley, Ait-Nouri, who gets more points this week? I think it might actually be Bradley. So that's why Ait-Nouri might be on the chopping block. Okay, so 20 past. Let's go over some transfers. So this is, I'm going to be using the Fixture Planner. It's an extension for Google Chrome. I'm not being sponsored. I just find it quite useful. So as you guys can see, I've got 0.3 million in the bank. I could do a straight swap of Bradley to Dan Burn for free, but I've got 2 free transfers. I'm free hitting in Game Week 34. That's very integral. So I have to use basically both 2 moves. I don't have to use them, but it's good to use both of them, as otherwise I'm burning a transfer basically. So the moves I was thinking about initially was going to be Foden in for Saka. Now that Foden got that knock, and if we get news that he starts, I might actually be pretty tempted to go Saka to Foden. But if we don't get news, I think I'm going to keep Saka this week. I could go for, as I said in the team selection, could go for Gordon, could go for Bruno Fernandes, but I don't know how keen I am on those moves. And I think Saka, as mentioned, without Douglas Luiz, Aston Villa might struggle. So Saka might stay, and therefore I'm looking to make another attacking transfer. And out of my attackers, I believe Darwin probably is the most at risk of either reduced minutes or rotation, that sort of thing. And therefore Darwin out might be the sensible move. Now, out of the strikers I want to target, there's not that many. I could go for like a Solanke, but I want to prepare for Game Week 37. And therefore there's like a Højlund that could be an option. I've seen João Pedro's pretty popular, but I'm actually thinking about maybe going for someone by the name of Julian Alvarez. So Darwin out for Alvarez might be a transfer that I do. Then my next move is up in the air, because what I could do is I could take Ait-Nouri to either Dan Burn, bench Dan Burn, play Van Hecke, or I could go for Ait-Nouri to someone like a Ruben Diaz, to someone like a Guardiola. But as mentioned, I might want to prolong that Man City defender for as long as possible. So Alvarez in for Darwin might actually be a transfer I do if we get confirmation that he starts. Otherwise, I'm a little bit unsure about what transfers to make. That's my current thinking, and that's why I'm a bit all over the place on those moves. So I think it's very dependent on if we get early Man City team sheet news. Otherwise, I don't know what to do. I'm going to dive a little bit deep into the Alvarez move just because I think it deserves some kind of attention. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to show you the fixture calendar from Ben Crellin. Okay, so I'm going to just adjust the screen quickly for you guys. Just give me a second here because I want you guys to see the whole picture. Okay, cool. Let me just move that down a bit. Okay, you guys can see. So this is from the Ben Crellin Fixture Planner Google Sheet. So what I want to show you guys is kind of when the Champions League games are going to be falling, when the FA Cup games are going to be falling. So the team I want to focus on here is going to be Man City. So I've highlighted them. It might be quite light, but just bear with me. So as you guys can see, we're going to play the Luton game where we're pretty confident that Alvarez starts. Then we have the Real Madrid game next week where we are expecting him to be benched again. So it seems like in the strongest starting 11 right now, Alvarez might not be in it. Then we have the Chelsea FA Cup game. Alvarez might start that again. He might not. Who kind of knows? Then they play game week 34 against Brighton. That's up in the air. Then they have Nottingham Forest in game week 35 before I expect Man City to progress in the Champions League. If they don't, it is what it is, but I expect them to with the home game now. They then will face Arsenal Bayern, then Wolves in 36, and then Arsenal Bayern in just before 37 again. So I'm actually thinking that Alvarez might be okay for minutes in between the Champions League games. In game week 34, we're free hitting anyways, so we're not going to have him. Game week 35, he might play, but we could also just bench him. Then does he play in the Champions League semi-finals if they progress? I don't know. Then he has Wolves. Then he might play the first game of 37 plus, who kind of knows, but I don't think it's as punty as maybe people are saying with Alvarez. I think that he should actually be potentially okay for a few games in the future. And I'll show you guys with the transfer plan that we could potentially have an extra transfer anyways to take him out if need be. So let me just know what you guys think about that move with Alvarez. Do you guys like it? Do you guys not? What's kind of the thinking? While you do that, I'm going to go check Twitter quickly. I'm off to the darts. Hopefully see you again. Good luck, Harry. Travel safe, brother. Seems like you're always doing something. Let's go and see. Okay, so nothing so far on Twitter as of yet. Yeah, I don't see anything as of now over on Twitter, but I'll check as we go along. But let me know what you guys think about that. Is it a bit of a weird transfer? Sorry, let me just address. It's definitely more punty, but it could work out. Okay, cool. Let me just adjust this. Okay, so I like Alvarez a lot. Might even be a differential if no news on Haaland. That is true, but yeah, I don't know. I expect Haaland to play. I won't lie. De Bruyne, maybe. Can you check Discord? Shared my team. No Salah after game week 35. Okay. Okay, that team looks okay. De Bruyne, maybe can you check to share my team? No Salah after 35. So yeah, if you know Salah after 35, you're pretty on par with the wild carders for 35, because I don't think they're going to go for Salah either. Alvarez has been quiet. I do agree with you, slamming. Andy saying, how's it, Davey? How's it, Andy? Hopefully doing well. Fingers crossed for Green Arrow. Yes, I am, because the Red Arrows have been a bit hectic over the past few weeks. Tempted by Rico Lewis at all until the free it. So until next week. I don't know about Rico Lewis. He's a potential option, but I just feel like if I'm going to move for a defender, I want them for the longer term. And that's why I'd say like a Ruben Diaz or Guardiols is slightly better. Best keepers for Bench Boost 37. I would say Edison and Onana. I like them. You could also go for a Vicario though. What's your take? Okay, I think I said that one. I replied to that one. I've got Lascelles and Norrie versus Bradley and Norrie. Who should I remove? I would try and remove Lascelles if you could. If you have enough funds, then him to Dan Burns a strong transfer. Do we get City leaks before the deadline? I'm hoping that we will, but I don't know if we will. So Trangsa, I'm very confused with Keller. Like Keller might play, he might not. If it's between Keller and Petrovic, I would play Keller here this week, in my opinion. Even if he doesn't start, you'll get Petrovic off the bench. So Tarang, I think I replied to your team over on Discord earlier, though. So Gabriel, the thing about Gabriel is that I don't think he's a doubt, because apparently it came out that he was actually fine and he was just being kind of rested. And you'll want him for next week anyways. Even if he gets benched this week, you'll have a bench option, potentially. Okay, so let's go over the potential move that I was speaking about, which is Darwin out to Alvarez. I know this is a bit of a weird one. Is it going to... Okay, it's J. Alvarez. Okay. So if we go for Alvarez, now it depends on who we take out. So what I could do is I could take Dan Burn here and then just play Van Hecker. Or I could go for, which I might actually do. I think I might actually just do Van Hecker and then I'll just go for Burn this week. And then next week we could look at potentially making a move for Man City option. But I could also play the Man City option. It just depends. So then what we'll do is we'll kind of have this team. Then game week 34 is a free hit. Okay, let me just refresh it quick. Sorry, it's just bugged. Okay, let me just move the captaincy. So Darwin out for Alvarez. And then Aitnori out for Burn. This could also be, as mentioned, this could also be Guardiola or Ruben Diaz if I have enough funds. Okay, so this is the team we roll with. Then next week, it's 34, which is the free hit, so just ignore that. Then game week 35, we are going to play... I'd say we play both these players, and then we probably... So this transfer we'll probably do is probably Bradley out, but we can just see what transfer we make. Now, this is when I was talking about that we could potentially actually just bench Alvarez if we're not anticipating a start. So then what we could do is we could take Alvarez out and we could just play Garnacho. Bench boost 34... Bench boost 35 potentially, I don't know. So just ignore the 2 free transfers. It's just carrying one over from the free hit. So we only have 1 free transfer here. Then what we could do is we could postpone this. So we have 2 transfers now for 36. And now what we could do is we could say, listen, how's the Man City situation looking? Can we bring in an option from Man City where we have enough money, 1.7 in the bank? We could take out Bradley and we can go for a Diaz if we wanted to. I'm just going to put Guardiola here because he's cheaper. But what we can now do is assess the situation with what's happening over at Man City. It gives us an extra week to do that. And now we can see if Alvarez is going to start again. If he does, we can just bench Garnacho again. Probably play Onana over Petrovic. And then we go into game week 37's bench boost with 2 free transfers. Now my current thinking about the moves I would maybe do is taking out Saka and Salah. And then bringing in Richarlison if he is fit because of that Burnley at home game. And then maybe a Bruno if we want to. If we think Bruno is going to be good, then we can go for him. And that leaves us a lot of money in the bank. In terms of the bench boost, I would maybe say Dan Burn off. This is probably the bench boost we'll go with. Petrovic, Garnacho, Van Hecken, and Burn. Not the best in the world, but I mean, it is what it is. Then we have 1 free transfer for 38, and we can take out probably Bruno back to Salah if we want to. We have enough money in the bank to do this comfortably. And then the starting 11 is what we kind of want it to be, I guess. But yeah, that's why Alvarez actually might not be the worst transfer in the world. If we wanted to keep Salah in game week 37, that gives us an extra transfer to do what we want with. So if we don't like Alvarez, we could take him to someone else. We could take him to a Højlund if we want to. Just depends on what I'm kind of looking at here. Actually, let's just reset this game week. If we take out Saka to Richarlison, yeah, we have 3.8, so we can do Alvarez to Højlund if we wanted to or something like. Okay, but now this is resetting everything. But we would have enough money in the bank anyways. But yo, just let me know what you guys think about the Burn Alvarez move. But I think we have to almost get confirmation that Alvarez is starting. But Josh, sorry, I wasn't replying to questions because I was going over the transfer plan. Let me know what you guys think about that. Which City defender do you reckon, George? For me, it's between Guardiola and it's Ruben Diaz. It depends on who you can afford from that. I'm not 100% sure on who's more nailed for that, but yeah. Adam, a best defender for 5.4. If you are free hitting in game week 34, then I'd say maybe look at someone like a Guardiola, or you could look at someone like, how much is Shaw? Shaw's 5.5, okay, it's a bit unlucky, but like a Dan Burns good for bench boost 37. Guardiola's also okay. I would have said potentially Gabriel if you're not free hitting in 34, because he has the double, but you probably have him anyways. But I would say it's probably between Newcastle and Man City with the fixtures. I'm now starting to think about KDB. I don't think I can afford KDB, Vincent. I would say, though, if Man City progress in the Champions League, I do feel like Kevin De Bruyne is in the best starting 11, so he might be rested in between. What is the best defender for 5 mil? I would say Guardiola or Dan Burns, Siddharth, same that I've been saying for even if you have more money. Good luck this week, Joe. Thank you. Bench one of Muniz, Gordon, or Solanke. I'd probably just bench Muniz and play Gordon and Solanke. You could also bench Gordon, but I like Newcastle at home. Will Bradley start? Because I think... So Trent... So what Klopp said about Trent is that he basically said that he was 100% not coming off the bench. So they almost just put him on the bench for numbers. And because he was not prepared to come off the bench in that game, I don't think he's going to come off the bench that early on in the Crystal Palace one. So because Bradley was rested, I think he's pretty nailed to start. Not considering Jackson. I might consider Jackson, but then I'd have to take out one of my Chelsea options. Is probably Gusto. So I could take Gusto out for like a Guardiola, maybe Darwin to Jackson, but I don't know. I think he still has the yellow cards, if memory serves me right. When should I play my wild card? So confused. Northy, just send me another message in chat and say what other chips you have. I would probably say if you got to this point without a wild card, I would wild card 35. But what you could do is wild card now for the future. But I think rather dead end into 34's double and then wildcard in game week 35. That's what I would say. TR saying Richarlison and Porro to 1, Virgil and Sarabia, Virgil and Hee-Chan, or Luis Diaz and Guardiola. Richarlison and Porro to... I like Luis Diaz and Guardiola. TR. No Stones, David. I think he's benched this week. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but apparently... he pulled up with like a strain and then he was consulting the physios on the side and they wanted him to come off and then he said no, he's going to play it through or something like that. Lascelles and Norrie out for Burn. I don't have Bradley and Norrie like you. If you can take Lascelles out for Burn, then I would do that rather than Ait Norrie. But if you don't have the funds, then you can just take out Ait Norrie and then upgrade with another transfer maybe next week if you have money, or 35 Lascelles. You're showing the double Chelsea defense? Yeah, I've made my bed. I might as well lie on it. I do agree that maybe Onana Petrovic is quite close. Because I don't own Solanke, I'm kind of hoping that United keep a clean sheet, but they also haven't been great recently. Remove Maddison or keep him? I would just keep him, Kunal. Yeah, you can bench him. I'd say I would probably bench him this week with Garnacho's upside. But it's also a way to kind of double up on an attack that could do well. I mean, Newcastle aren't great defensively, so... that one is tough. Maddison or Garnacho. We might actually have to look at kind of projected points for that one because to me that is close. That's very close. Let me check for you quickly. I don't know. I think I might actually just play Maddison there. I think that game might have more goals in it up for the upside. But it's very kind of tight. The thing about Madison that's been annoying is he's like early subs. I don't really get that. Same team as yours, but Lascelles over Faneke. If you make the Burn move, would you recommend doing the same? But yes, I would take out Lascelles for Dan Burn, Andy. I have the same team, but already bought Foden in at wildcard. 2 free transfers. What moves would you suggest? I would probably still keep Foden. I think it's worth taking him out, even if he is benched today. I would probably, if you had like a similar team to me, as you said, I would just play Garnacho over Foden if we get news that he's benched. Thank you, Vincent. Do appreciate the kind words. A life without Davey deadline, no matter how many others we have, is empty. Thank you I appreciate it. I just appreciate you guys watching my stream over other people. Start Kele or Petrovic. I'd start Kele, because even if he's not going to start, you'll get Petrovic off the bench anyways. But I prefer the Liverpool fixture to the Chelsea one. I've a similar fixture, but I have Gordon instead of Saka. 2 free transfers, no free at what to do, Davey. I would probably just work on my defense then, Abdul. You can keep Darwin. It's just, I don't know what your guys' opinion on, but if you look at my attackers, if I had to say, would you rather sell Darwin or Saka, I feel like Saka's the better FPL asset. Darwin, he might be subbed early for Jota with Diaz being rested. He might just not do well in the first place. I just don't know. He's a very polarizing player, and that's why I do feel like if I had to choose one of my attackers, he's the most nailed for a transfer out. And that's why I feel like Darwin's a punt in the first place, so Alvarez might be worth it if he starts. Andy, cheers, brother. Love it. We'll be hopeless at you. Fingers crossed. Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it. Aaron is saying, let's smash the like button, only if you guys want to, if you guys are enjoying it. Farbro says, free at bench boost, no wildcard, Saka, Solanke to Haaland, Garnacho. Yes, that looks pretty good, especially if you want to captain Haaland this week. That's what's hard about Haaland this week, is that if you guys, there's a chance, I guess, that he's rested, but I feel like he will play, surely. Darwin to Jackson. Connor, that is a move that you can do, but I already have a triple up, so I would therefore have to take out Petrovic, or I'd have to take out Gusto, which I don't know. Transfer plan for the day, AJ. I'm looking at Darwin to Alvarez, and then Ait-Nori to Dan Burn. But I could do Ait-Nori to Diaz or Guardiola. You won't have Foden for the rest of the season. Yes, Vladimir, that's the only problem with this. But that's why I might leave the Man City transfer for... That's why I might do Dan Burn this week and then keep that Foden transfer in the future potentially open. That's also a move I could do in 37. I could just bring Foden in instead of a Bruno, or I could bring Foden in instead of a Richarlison. That's something I could do. Foden starting. Okay, let's just check this. This will change things up, I think, then. Foden and Haaland start for Man City. Oh my goodness. Foden and Haaland start. But then they said Haaland, De Bruyne, and Alvarez also start. Foden and Haaland both start. So then do we do Saka to Foden? Is Saka to Foden better then? Oh my days. Okay, now I'm quite confused then with my transfers. Okay, so guys, Foden starts as well as Haaland. So that basically, that cements the captaincy. So the captaincy is at least nailed now. So we're going to captain Haaland. But now Foden. So do we... should we do Saka to Foden then? That was the original plan. But then we're hoping, like, I guess that's what our original plan was. But so then we keep Darwin. Yeah, it's got to be. Unless Alvarez also starts, then I mean, I don't know. But if Foden plays, De Bruyne, does De Bruyne get rested? So Haaland plays, is it Foden on the right or Foden in the middle? Or is there a middle two? Timothy says Haaland is not starting. No, they said Haaland is starting. Yeah, now I'm a bit stumped. I won't lie to you guys. Saka to Maddison. I don't know if I do. I mean, Maddison's okay. I mean, imagine Foden plays like 40 minutes or 50 minutes and gets subbed. Does Barnes start? I don't know, Dan. Are you talking about Harvey Barnes? Thoughts on getting KDB cash? I don't think I would now that we've got the Foden Haaland situation. We can bring in both Foden and Alvarez. We could be absolutely maverick, but that is a bit insane. Because I have to think about the future moves. So that means taking Saka out, not having him for the Spurs game, not having him for the Bournemouth game, not having him for the Villa game. I think if Foden plays 60 minutes against Luton, I'm fine with that versus Saka. We've had no other team sheet news with 15 minutes to go. So I do think the one transfer that's quite nailed is I think I'm going to bring Dan Burn in for Aït-Nouri. And therefore bench Van Hekke. That's the one transfer I'm pretty keen on. Now the second transfer is either Saka Foden or Darwin Alvarez. That's where my current head is at the moment. Does Alvarez start though if Haaland and Foden do? Yeah, Aït-Nouri is not out, but I feel like I'm confident enough in Bradley starting this game to take him out in game week 35. So so Guardiola is starting. Has that been confirmed? Okay, I haven't seen the Guardiola one. Okay, so Haaland, Foden, Guardiola, they all play. So if Haaland, Foden, Guardiola all play, nothing on any other of the others. Don't gamble on the City Assets Madrid game coming up, Pep related. It's going to be 2. There might be, but I just feel like there's such upside for this fixture. It's insane. Let's think out the box, get both Foden. But the thing is, we have had no news about Alvarez starting. So we can't bring Alvarez in if he's not going to play. So that's where my current head is at. Is Akanji starting? I haven't seen anything. Okay, wait. Okay, so Foden, Haaland, Rico Lewis, and Guardiola are confirmed. All those players have been confirmed. So once again, Foden, Haaland, Rico Lewis, and Guardiola. That's the only players we know currently. Omar, burn Foden for Nori Saka. Yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to have to do then. I think that's probably what we're going to have to do then. I mean, it's a risk. Saka's ownership is so high. I won't lie, I was leaning towards... if Foden was benched, I was leaning towards the Alvarez transfer. I actually liked that transfer plan. I thought it could work out. But yeah, so once again, Guardiola, Rico Lewis, Haaland, Foden all play. Yeah, so those four, we've had confirmation about those four. And what's the worst about this is that last time, if you guys remember, I did the Guardiola. I went for Ait-Nouri instead of Guardiola. And then we got news like 1 minute before the deadline that Guardiola was going to play. But yeah, other than that, we've got 11 minutes to go. Saka and Barkley to Foden and Garnacho, or Saka and Morris to Garnacho and Isaac. Saka. I would do the first one because Foden's playing. Alvarez is dead food now. Maybe. Yeah, tie the footy guy, do the Saka Barkley transfers because you want to prioritize Foden this week. What do you recommend if I already have Guardiola, Davey? That's hundreds. Then you just saving yourself a transfer. I would then take Bradley to Burn potentially if you want to use the extra transfer. No money, but 2 trans looking of shipping Solanke out or defender. Got Fineka, Bradley, Gusto, Burn, and Dogi. Go with Saka to Foden. Chris, I'll try and keep Solanke, but maybe if you have to take him out, you could. Between those, take Bradley out though. Chris, I would rather take Bradley out than Solanke. Get both Foden and Guardiola. Okay, so if we got Foden in, would you rather have Guardiola? Then, for me, the logic is just I want to postpone the Man City transfer for as long as possible to potentially take an upside punt on it. That's my thinking on it. That's why I want to go for Burn this week rather, because I think he's slightly safer. I mean, I could come back to bite us, but it is what it is. Yeah, we don't like last minute moves. That is true, but unfortunately, we had some last minute news last time. Okay, let me just check if we had anything else. Okay, I don't see anything else. Yeah, so those moves, I mean, they're quite maverick, I'd say. So it's Saka out for Foden. And then Ait-Nouri for Burn. I guess we could go for we've had news that Guardiola's here. It's between Guardiola and Burn, but I think we go for Burn this week. And then potentially we can go for someone else in the future. Let me just check the planner quick and see what moves. Next week's it's the free at 35 though. So I could play Burn, or I could play, who do Man City have in 35? I mean, got Nottingham Forest. I mean, that's an okay fixture. I think we do the Burn move. I think I'm slightly leaning towards the Dan Burn move. Okay, so those will be the 2 moves that we do then. Saka out for Foden and Ait Nori for Burn. And we're going to confirm those transfers. And then we're going to play Van Hecke against Burnley. And this is going to be the team then. So that has been locked in. Okay. Fusion, bench 1. Bradley, Saliba, Gabriel, Rico Lewis. I'd bench Saliba. And then just hope Gabriel plays. Chris says, save my sanity while my GF tries on dresses. You don't have to flex that you have a GF, Chris. No, I'm joking. Hopefully it's not too painful. But the stream will be ending in 7 minutes, so maybe just get it to hurry up a bit. Okay, I just want to post this team over on Discord quickly. Selling Solanke or Darwin for Haaland. I would sell Wizzy as long as you're free at in 34. If you're not free, actually no, I'd still Darwin for Haaland. Game week 33. Ait Nori. Saka to Burn. Foden. And then just post it to YouTube quickly. Sorry, is Alvarez playing? And Nesu, I didn't see Alvarez on the leaked list, but I haven't checked Twitter in a bit. Let's check. So no, nothing else. Nothing else as far as I can see. I just think everyone is basically going to captain Haaland now. Okay, let's do some quick fire rounds with 5 minutes to go. You guys can check. You guys can check Twitter for me. Just to make sure that I'm not missing any early team sheet news again. If you only got one free transfer, would you do Saka and just do the burn move? Yes, Connor, I would do that. I'll just keep Saka. I don't know if Faneka, but Lascelles. Can you upgrade Lascelles then, Emmanuel? Lascelles is out for the season, so you should be able to afford Lascelles to burn. Just let me know if you can't. Davey, no, Van Hecke got Lascelles. So SH, same thing. Can you guys afford the Dan Burn move? Hi Jocks, how are you? Start 1, Udogie, Nori or Burn. I'd start Ait Nori. Bench 1, Burn, Pedro Porro, Ait Nori. I'd bench Dan Burn. Akash. Start Petrovic or Keller. Would you bring Faneka instead of... Should we bring Faneka? You can if you can't afford Dan Burn. That's fine, Andy. Thank you for that. I think some people are stressing about if they have Lascelles. So do Lascelles to burn. If you can't afford that, then do Van Hecke. That's also fine. Edison and KDB start? Question mark. Okay, let me check. Yeah, so Edison and KDB start. Thank you, David, for the clarification on that one. So yeah, Edison and KDB also do play. Thank you for that one. Sorry, let me just get to the bottom here. Neil, Son and Rico or Foden and Estu. If it's a 1 week punt, then I would go for Foden and Rico. But if it's for long term, I don't think I'd go for Stupinan. I think I would just go for someone like a Dan Burn if you don't have him, Neil. Depends on like kind of what you're going for almost. Ariella for Pickford, that's a fine transfer, but this week Everton have the best game. Emmanuel, then be left with Ait Nori. Yeah, if you're left with Ait Nori, it's okay. Like, he's good for future game weeks, even if he's not fit for this one. Should I start? I'd start Guardiola there, Vincent. Start Nori, Zabarni, or Porro. I'd start Ait Nori, Rafareza. If you have Aït-Nouri still, I'd play him. That's my thinking behind it. Davy in the bank now. Let me check for you. I've got 1.1 in the bank. 1.1 in the bank. That's how much I have in the bank, 1.1. Branthwaite or Udogie to start? I would start Udogie for the attacking thread rope fly. Liverpool Chelsea keeper, I'd go for the Liverpool keeper, Jocks. No worries, Jocks. Play the Liverpool keeper if you can hear me. Play Gusto or Van Heck. I'd still go Gusto for the attacking threat. Udogie or Burn, Udogie attacking threat. Start Muniz or Garnacho. Is Muniz on penalties? Because then I would go for Muniz. Play Solanke or Madison? Solanke. Mateta over Muniz. No, I would go for Muniz still. Saka or Foden for a hit? No, I wouldn't do it for a hit. I'd just keep Saka. Salah or Foden captain? Now that we know Foden starts, he could be potentially the better captain, but I would probably just go for Salah because he's more nailed Alessio. It's very tough between that because you're almost hoping that Haaland stays quiet and then Foden does well, but what's the likelihood of that? Start Burn or Branthwaite? Branthwaite. Because you probably don't own... Okay, wait, you probably all Cole Palmer, but I'd say Branthwaite slightly, but I don't think either of them are going to do well, Ronaldo. Bench one of Muniz, Gordon, or Solanke. I'd do either Muniz or Gordon. I'd probably say Gordon in your situation. If Muniz starts penalties, and it has penalties, and that's probably his upside. Yeah, as Timothy's saying, Guardiola, KDB, Haaland, Foden, Edison, and Lewis all start. That's the news we have. We haven't had news about Alvarez, and that's why I couldn't potentially go there. But, I mean, he could also start. Sadat saying TUPD. Everyone knows what that means. If you've been an OG of the stream, you know what TUPD means. That's officially down, guys. TUPD. I should make a emoji of that. TUPD. I don't think pants down would be an approved emoji though. I don't think that'll get approved by YouTube, but yeah. Unfortunately, guys, it is TUPD time. Time is up, and therefore the deadline has occurred. Pep always makes us cry. Yeah, I mean, the Pep roulette, at least we got leaked team sheet news. We were super lucky that we did, because that could have absolutely changed things for us and our team. So let's hope that Foden gets the majority of minutes and has a very strong game week. As Sadesh is saying, good luck, brethrens, because we need a green arrow for this game week, hopefully. So, yeah, guys, thank you for joining me on this Saturday. I'm going to let you guys get back to whatever you're doing, as Chris was doing. Hopefully your girlfriend doesn't try and dress us too many times. But next week is going to be free at 34 is going to be activated. I might even activate the chip tonight, but I'll let you guys know. Just follow me over on Twitter on the Discord server. And thank you for joining me. Hopefully the green arrows are in our favor. But for the time being, I'm going to sign off with Davey FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.